Hi, it's Miss Evelyn, and welcome to my Pick a Card Tarot video. This one is specifically about what energies to embody this week and how to proceed with it. And so for those who have never gone to a Pick a Card Tarot video, they work by, you look at all the group of cards here and you pick which one resonates with you the most. You can either meditate on it, you can either, just even look at it and be like, oh, I instantly connect to that one. And you pick that and you listen to the reading and you try to see how can it apply to you. In this particular reading, because it's energies to embody this week, this is more of a specific than a general reading, so it won't necessarily always apply to you, if that makes sense. And so, without further ado, here are the card groups. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is carnelian. This is rose quartz. This is agate. And this is red jasper. So how I do it is that I actually don't do it all in one video. I do it in separate videos because I tend to get a little nervous when I'm doing a live reading. That's why I usually do my readings by email and stuff like that. So I'll see you in whichever card group you choose. Thanks for watching. So this is the first group, carnelian. And the deck has granted us the decks have granted us these cards: Neptunus, Saint Expedite, and Socrates, Power, the Sun, and 4 of Pentacles. So what this spread is mostly telling me is that you need to embody a lot of creativity this week. And not only creativity, but creativity, compassion, and a little self-love, because this spread is telling me that while you are someone who does have confidence, it was beginning to waver a lot around the last week, and it's really important to understand that Saint Expedite is telling us to accept ourselves and to go through with power. And this is where power comes in, because power in itself is telling you that there's power in not only your compassion and your courage and your creativity, but there's power within what you do to reconcile things. And I think the spread is hinting to me that you may have done something wrong. Nothing major, something like minor, and you may have done something minorly wrong, at least last week, last month. And this spread is telling me that you need to find power within yourself and find power within what you with what you need to do and what you need to do to get on your right path. And so Neptunus, I feel like Neptunus and the Sun are the most compelling and the stronger cards of this spread. Because with Neptunus and the Sun, both talk about creativity and compassion, and with Neptunus, there can also be an idea of escapism. And what we don't want is, we don't want you to embody the energies of escaping what you've done, or escaping the reality of your life. And to help yourself this week, because this spread indicates to me, and I'm getting a lot of energies, that this week will be a little bit up and down for you, and help yourself with that, you need to look towards your creativity, and you need to look towards like what the Sun is and Socrates is saying, you need to look towards friends and family. Sorry for the brightness. But you need to look towards friends and family, and you need to look towards your creativity. And with friends and family, you don't have to look towards family, because I understand a lot of people don't have the proper support from family. So look towards your friends as well, because friends can be family. And with this, you need to move forward on your proper path with a lot of compassion and a lot of compassion. But you also, what the Four of Pentacles is advising you, is that you need to have a firm foundation with what your creativity is, because your firm foundation will help you move forward with your path and move forward with this week, as opposed to what Neptunus is saying, like, don't look towards escapism, don't look towards illusions, don't let yourself be fooled. Let yourself have a firm foundation on what you want to do and what you are basically looking forward to this week. And like Power says, you know, if you did do something wrong, it's okay, it happens. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in life, and making mistakes is a part of life. And so power is having the power to be able to step up and apologize and acknowledge your mistakes. And the only reason I'm continuing to run with that is because that's the kind of energies I get from this spread, is that I get a lot of energies that you did do something wrong, and even if you haven't acknowledged it yet, but I think you have acknowledged it, and you're just kind of in this I think the word stagnant place, where you kind of like, what do I do? You know, I can't really cope with this, because you just hate messing up. And I totally get that. I mess up sometimes and I'm just like, gosh, I hate this. But, you know, finding healthy coping mechanisms is what really helps. And Tarot is telling me that for you to cope, you definitely need to look towards creativity and look towards the compassion and the love that your friends are giving you, and the love and compassion that you can give to your friends and family, if you can give to your family. And I think it's very important to understand that what Socrates is saying is that to, like, basically unleash your best power, and unleash your best self, and allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to apologize, and allow yourself to move on, and allow yourself to find the healthy coping mechanisms that you need to move forward with your path. And as I said before, Neptunus is definitely saying, you know, don't give into escapism or illusions. I've said that before. And with Saint Expedite, and I feel like Saint Expedite and Power, even though there are different decks, they're almost sister cards because of what they both represent. And I find it very interesting that a lot of the cards in this spread have similar meanings, such as like creativity, compassion, courage, and stuff like that. And I think it's a really clear indication that you just need to have you need to go forward with this week embodying a lot of courage and a lot of creativity and a lot of compassion, because there is no bigger compassion than the compassion you can give yourself and the compassion that you can give others. And it's very important to understand that, you know, if you did make a mistake, just apologize apologize to the best of your ability and continue on and move on, and allow yourself to not completely dwell on it, because it'll only make things worse. And I think the biggest takeaway from this spread is that you need to move forward this week with creative outlets and creative ways to dealing with things that are healthy and help you and benefit you rather than harm you. And allow yourself to find power within yourself to move on, and find power within yourself to continue on to continue on this week as strong as you can be, because this week for you, like the energies I'm getting from this is that this week for you will be a little bit of up and down, but you gotta collect these creative and compassionate energies and just like expel them. you gotta like just completely like just expel them. Just embody it and you know, push through it. It's not gonna be a hard week, it's not gonna be an easy week, but it's definitely going to be a week, and it's going to be difficult emotionally. And like I said, to help with that is creativity, compassion, and courage. So this is the second group, Rose Quartz. And this spread, it's a spread and a half, I will admit. And let me show you the cards. So we have Soul, Saint Teresa, Memories of Love, Justice reversed, and Six of Swords reversed. And so what this tells me is that this week, it's going to test you. This week is definitely going to test you. And the energies you need to embody this week is letting yourself feel grief and letting yourself feel hurt. Because what Saint Teresa is telling us is that you need to be able to put your heart out there and put your heart out there completely and let yourself feel love, feel loss, and let yourself mostly just feel the motions of emotions. And this spread indicates to me that someone of your past may come back, and it's someone not negative but positive, and it ended on like a more neutral note, but it's definitely something that's giving you a lot of like nostalgia, and it's making you be like, oh, I kind of want to go back to them, I want to be in a relationship with them again. And this doesn't just mean romantic, this means also platonic, because you can still like want to go back and be in relationships with your friends or your ex-friends. And you know, what this spread is telling me is that you probably shouldn't really focus on that. You should focus on yourself, because Soul is saying that you are an influential and a pretty good person, an influential person, but you're influenced by a lot and you're very influential. And so these people might be coming back because they like how you make them feel rather than them liking you for you. And that happens in life, and it's definitely something that will make you grieve and will make you feel hurt. But we have to look at the Six of Swords reversed, because the Six of Swords reversed in conjunction with Justice reversed, I would say that this week, you may be really tested. And well, I think this week you're definitely going to be tested with something. And with the vibes I get from these two cards in conjunction with each other is that you're going to be treated unfairly, and that you're going to be at a stalemate mostly, and more of a stalemate of if you need to move on from this person or not. And the energies to embody this week are mostly the energies of Soul and Saint Teresa. I believe that these cards are the biggest cards for this spread, because I get like the strongest energies from them, and they're like telling me that you need to be able to embody like the warmth and the strength of Soul. Let me show you the card again. The warmth and the strength of Soul, while also letting yourself feel loss and feel love, because there's nothing stronger, because I believe there is nothing stronger than letting yourself be an emotional and sensitive person. And this spread tells me that you're really not used to this is telling me emotional, but you're not used to being emotional. It's kind of a new thing for you. And I would say the biggest thing for this spread is to understand that with memories of love is that memories are memories for a reason. And it's okay to want to go back to a person, because sometimes we all feel that. We all want to go back to someone, but it ended for a reason, basically, is what I'm trying to say, is that it ended for a reason, and you are no longer in touch for a reason. And sometimes you have to move on, even though you don't want to. But even if you move on, it's okay to let yourself feel the grief, like what Saint Teresa is saying. And like I said, there's nothing stronger than a person who's willing to let themselves feel and let themselves be sensitive and emotional. And Justice Reversed tells me that you will most likely be given an injustice this week, or you'll be given an injustice this week from this particular person, or the injustices that the injustices that they have done in the past will come back, will resurface, which is what I'm seeing with Justice Reversed and Memories of Love. That either they will serve you an injustice this week, or past injustices will come back up with this person. And it's just mostly important to remember and to understand that the biggest thing you need to do is Six of Swords reversed, which is, even though you're at a stalemate, you need to make preparation to move on. And Soul is letting us know that it's okay to move on. There's strength in moving on, and there is power and warmth in being an emotional person and having very emotional moments. And this spread is really telling me that you have had emotional moments with this person, and this isn't a recent person. This is more of like, and by recent I mean in the last month, this is more of a person around, I would say, 2 to 4 months ago. And Saint Teresa and Soul is the biggest takeaway from the spread, which is what I keep saying, but I just get the strongest energies from them. And they're telling me, like, you need to know that it's okay to feel right now, and it's okay to let yourself feel, and it's okay to be upset and stuff like that, and it's okay to be emotional, because what you need right now is to be emotional. What you need right now is to grieve. You need to, and even though you need to grieve, you also need to be able to find the strength to move on. And yeah, I would say definitely Soul is the biggest card right now, because it is talking about strength and warmth and love and stuff like that, and you need to find that, and you need to find that not only within yourself, but from those around you. I get this spread as more of a, you need to find comfort within those around you as well card, and not the person that we're talking about. But overall, the energies to I almost forgot to talk about it. The energies to embody this week are strength, grief, love, and loss. And moving on, not loss. And basically, I would say the strongest one to embody this week, the strongest energy that you need to move forward with this week and move on with this week and possibly move on with the next week, is strength. You need to find strength. And that, I would say, that's the biggest takeaway out of this spread. So this is the third group, Agate. And what this spread is very clearly telling me is that you've recently gone through a really bad emotional break, not only with yourself, but with a relationship, whether it be platonic, romantic, or familial. And I'll tell you why. And here are the cards. Marie Laveau, Uranus, Accelerated Motion, Three of Cups reversed, Death reversed, Ten of Cups reversed, and Five of Swords. And I was really surprised because when I was shuffling this, 2 cards came out, like flew out, and I was like, oh god. But I think tarot just has a lot to say about what you need to do this week. And tarot is telling me, especially from a lot of the energies I get here, tarot is telling me that you've gone through a really bad emotional break and you can't move on. And this is what Death is saying. Death reversed is saying that you're having a hard time moving on. You're anxious, you're afraid, you're like crying a lot, and Death reversed is just, it's basically saying you feel like you can't move on. And with Three of Cups and Ten of Cups reversed, they're telling me that, oh god, it's so bright. They're telling me that, they're telling me that you have, that they're basically the bigger indicator cards of what's happened. And even though there's a lot of like negative cards here with the reversals and stuff like that, it has a really good positive meaning for the week moving forward. And so let me go through the cards individually. Let me go through these ones individually so I can show you further like your situation in perspective. And with Five of Swords, it tells to me that you feel like you've lost the battle and you feel like you just don't want to fight anymore. And that's understandable with the hurt that you're feeling. And I can tell you're feeling a lot of hurt from these 4 cards here. And I think it's really important to notice that there's 2 reversed cups here, and these 2 reversed cups are surrounding a major arcana card, which is Death reversed. Because, you know, with the Suit of Cups, it's about emotions and stuff like that. And with Death reversed, it talks a lot about, rather than like the life of moving on or life of acceptance, it's talking about a lot of how you can accept. So I get from this that a lot of like emotional feelings are going on with you right now. And yeah, a lot of emotional feelings are going on with you right now. You feel like you've lost the battle. It's been an emotional dispute, and then you feel like you can't move on and stuff like that. And so here's where the positivity comes in. You need to understand that Mary Level, she is a very good person who represents a lot of self-love, self-respect, and self-confidence. Uranus represents a brilliant future and creative means, while Accelerated Motion is telling you that a lot of the hardships are moving forward now. So even though we have a lot of these negative cards here, we have a good spread of positive cards, but I would say for the biggest indicators of the spread is Death reversed on Mary Laval, and as well as Ten of Cups reversed. And this is basically just saying that you need to be able to find love within yourself and love within your friends, because your friends love you a lot, and it's really hard going through these types of emotional breaks, but it's just really hard. And you know, it's definitely something that you need to really focus on right now. Like, not focus on what happened, but more or less focus on what you can do to move forward from this, because I understand you're having a hard time moving forward from this. And so the energies to embody this week is as much confidence as you can and as much self-love as you can. And sometimes we need to look towards our friends to remind us how they feel about us and how we need to feel about ourselves. And you need to understand that even though this is happening, it's the 10 of Cups and accelerated motion is saying it's temporary, because it's going to move forward as life does. Life moves forward, and that's what we have to remember. Life will continue to move forward. And I want to talk about the 5 of Swords for a second, because it also goes in hand with the 10 of Cups and accelerated motion, because the 5 of Swords talks about how you feel loss and defeat, but even though you've lost the battle, you haven't lost the war, type of thing. And I normally don't really like that type of metaphor for emotional stuff, because it's like, well, I don't want to be at war, right? And so for 5 of Swords, I would say, even though you've lost now, that doesn't mean you're defeated, and that doesn't make you worthless, and it doesn't make you a loser. Because you may have lost now, but you will win in the future, and this isn't a permanent thing. And this is what the 10 of Cups is also really saying. It's not a permanent thing, and it's not something that's going to really heavily be affecting you for the long run. Because it will affect you for the long run, but not for the longest run. You know what I mean? Grief and loss always affects us for a long time, but there'll come a time in your life where you understand that you have moved on, you've moved on for the better, and that you will continue to move on. And this week, the biggest takeaway I would say from this is to embody a lot of strength, because you have to understand that with Uranus and accelerated motion, that your future is bright and it's going to get better. Because nothing is ever permanent. Life moves very fast, and that's what this accelerated motion is saying, that life is going to start moving faster this week. And the the energies to embody for this is to let yourself just accept that. You have to have an accepting energy, you have to have a self-loving energy, and you have to have a radiant energy to where you can confidently say that yes, you're hurt, but you're ready to move forward. So this is the 4th card group, Red Jasper, and there's a lot of cards here, but here are the cards. Leonardo da Vinci, Mars, Rejoice in Celebration, Obstacles and Challenges, Ace of Cups reversed, the Tower reversed, Ace of Pentacles, and 8 of Cups. And so what this spread is really indicating to me is that something kind of major happened recently, and you're in the process of moving on, and it's going pretty okay, but this week is going to offer you obstacles and challenges from moving on. And these obstacles and challenges aren't going to be the easiest for you. What the tower is what's telling me is that something major happened, and it was out of your control. It wasn't something that you were to blame for. It was out of your control entirely. And Ace of Cups reversed is telling me that, you have a lot of creative blocks right now. You, in conjunction with each other, of the Tower and Ace of Cups, I would say that you have a lot of blocked creativity. You're holding on to the past. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it kind of cancels out the Ace of Cups, but the Ace of Pentacles talks about how you talks about a lot of good career opportunities, a lot of good relationship opportunities. And with 2 aces, it usually means a partnership. So this is what's getting me into thinking that this week, even though you have suffered a major hardship, this week will be very good for you, because you will be able to find comfort in someone around you. And the 8 of Cups is what's telling you, that's like telling you to move on and telling you to think about it more emotionally, and that you've probably already left the situation emotionally. It's now asking you to take your actual leave. And that card can also indicate that if you can, you should travel, like either minor or major, to clear your mind of this situation. But this week is going to test you with obstacles and challenges. And so the energies to embody this week is, the strongest cards I get from this is the Ace of Cups reversed, the Rejoice and Celebration, and Mars. These cards are telling me that for you this week, you really need to embody strength. You need to really embody a lot of emotional stability. And you need to demonstrate a lot of unity with people around you. So I find it very interesting that I have the Rejoice and Celebration card with 3, which also 3 represents unity, and Rejoice and Celebration is a card about unity and about rejoicing with those you love. And then we have 2 aces, which means coming together in a partnership. Even if it's reversed, it's still coming together in a partnership. And so what that says to me is that you definitely are going to find someone that's like that's going to help you in the long run with moving on, with moving on, because the Tower is telling me that, if I can pick it up, the Tower is telling me that you are having a hard time with holding on to the past. And even though with the 8 of Cups, even though that you've already kind of like left the situation, you're still kind of holding on to it in some way. And so Leonardo da Vinci is talking about how you need to take time to actually really focus on your energies. This is the first card I've seen in any of the groups that's actually said you need to take time to focus on your energies. And Leonardo da Vinci is also telling us that we should be creative and, curious. So I would say these 2 cards of the 8 of Cups and Leonardo da Vinci go together. And I would say for those 2, that is saying to basically travel if you can, and make an emotional journey as well, because Mars is talking about strength. And with strength, I think a lot of strength comes in with allowing yourself to be emotional, and a lot of strength comes in with allowing yourself to understand and accept what happens, because it takes a lot of strength to move on from situations. It takes a lot of strength to continue to live as you are even after something major happened. And even though this week is going to give you obstacles and challenges, this is telling me you're going to easily overcome them. And you can overcome them, because you're going to have this partner with you, and you're going to have this person helping you through. And this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This can be a platonic family member, that sort of thing. And this person's going to continue to help you move forward this week. And with the Rejoice and Celebration, I would say it's definitely one of the major cards, because it's talking about how you need to have unity. And look at that, it has cups too. I didn't realize that. It has cups too. So I would say it's definitely a cups card or cup suit. And there's a lot of emotion going on in this spread, but it's definitely something that needs to happen. The moving on and the actual leaving needs to happen. And the hardships you are going to face this week are going to be very minuscule compared to what has actually already happened. And I would say the biggest takeaway from this is definitely with the energies, you need to embody a lot of compassion and unity, and you need to embody a lot of strength. And I feel like those three energies will definitely help you throughout this week as you continue to face these obstacles, because you will overcome them. This isn't saying that you won't. You're just going to have these obstacles, but you will definitely overcome them. And remember to actually focus on your energies this week, because this spread is telling me that you usually don't, and it's time to take the time this week to actually focus on these energies. And these energies are of strength, unity, and basically, not this one, whoops, and of moving on. Those are what you want to embody this week, and those are what you want to move forward with this week. And you're gonna do great this week. I understand it was hard recently, but you're gonna do great this week. And as long as you embody these energies, you're gonna be able to move forward this week, understanding yourself better, understanding the situation better.